Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Bhringa Swami-Sunday Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Pasmashtavati Shtane Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Hima Pritipha Chandraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasannavaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Nityananda Aham Nomi Sarvananda Karam Karam Harinam Kadam Devam Avadute Shiromani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Am I safe in assuming that this is an English-speaking audience? Yeah? Okay. Thank you for inviting us to Finland. It's a pleasure for me to be here with all of you. It's an honor to come to your country and participate in Krishna consciousness with you. We've come with a group of friends. Come with a group of friends and Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. I'd like to introduce our friends. Okay. Here's His Grace Attention Krishna Prabhu. He is basically from America, but has lived in Vrindavan for a long time and participates in the 24-hour kirtan program in Vrindavan. And over here is the Kinshana's wife, Rati Manjari. She's practically from Finland. She's from Karelia, which is somewhere just over in Russia, near here. And she was telling me how when she was a little girl, her mom used to bring her to Finland every summer so that she would study Finnish. And she went to university and she studied 2 languages. One was English and one was Finnish. And I think every word of Finnish she's forgotten. Rati. And this gentleman is Vrindavan Kirtan. He's Vrindavan Kirtan was born in New Zealand, grew up in Australia, and he's been a devotee his whole life. Ever since he was young, he's played mridanga. He loves mridanga. And he lived in Vrindavan for a year and a half on the 24-hour kirtan program. And he travels a lot around the world now, getting invited to different programs to accompany by playing mridanga. It's very, very wonderful. He really puts his heart and soul into each rhythm on the mridanga that he plays. Also at Kinshana, he travels all over the world as well, going here and there and here and there. We just came from Lithuania Festival, and yesterday morning at breakfast, Srila Niranjan Swami was speaking about a wonderful kirtan that Kinshana Krishna led. And And Srila Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, he looked up and he said, "Whoa, he was in eastern Siberia also. He set the Siberian forest on fire with his kirtan." And here we have another one of our friends, the Sachi Sutta Prabhu.
Haribol!
Haribol! Sachi Sutta, he's basically from America. He also was born in ISKCON, grew up in ISKCON, went to school in Mayapur, went to school in Vrindavan, finished his high school in America, and then he came to Vrindavan. He's been in Vrindavan for the past 5 years, participating in the 24-hour kirtan program. And Sachi is he's one of these people that just has talent coming out of his ears. I can't figure out where it all comes from. I know that Srila Prabhupada said that ISKCON is such an auspicious situation that demigods are in the queue waiting to take birth in ISKCON. And I can only imagine that talents like a young gentleman has, like Sachi, they must have been from some amazing samskars from a previous life, maybe upstairs in the heavens or something like that. First time I ever saw Srila Prabhupada was in Detroit, Michigan in 1971 in the summer. He'd gone back to India, and sort of like mid-July, he came back across to America, and no one really knew he was coming. And then so when we found out, I had just joined ISKCON at that time. When we found out Prabhupada was, on the soil of North America, we all became very, very enlightened. And we found out his schedule, and he was going to Detroit. And I had joined in a city called Buffalo in New York. And so we all drove over to see Srila Prabhupada. It was quite an amazing thing to place your eyes upon a pure devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. It's not an ordinary vision, but it's something which is extraordinarily transcendental and purifying and full of transcendental potency, like spiritual grace that Srila Prabhupada will bestow upon everyone. This is 71, and in America we were still like, the men from Mars. We were still, it was a young movement at that time, just 6 years old, and it was just spreading. People hadn't seen us so much. There was a temple in Detroit, and Prabhupada was arriving there by flight. So about 350 of us descended on the Detroit airport, and that was, of course, pre-9/11, no security. So we just all went in, and we all went to the arrivals gate, hundreds of us in the lounge, and this kirtan was going up. And it was one of those kirtans that are so transcendental that the mind, just hearing that kirtan, the mind became totally absorbed. And you just start to sway back and forth, and you just forget the body, forget the workings of the mind, and just feel transcendental bliss from within. Sri Rupa Rupa Goswami, he wrote a verse like that. He questioned, how much nectar is there in the two syllables Krishna? That's a big question. You know, how much nectar is in the two syllables Krishna? He said, when the sound Krishna, when it touches my ear, immediately I desire to have millions of ears just to scoop up that nectar. And then that sound, it goes into my heart and it begins to dance in the courtyard of my heart. He said, at that time, my mind and my senses, they become completely pacified. And then I chant those two syllables, Krishna, and that holy name, it goes across my tongue. And when the name of Krishna crosses my tongue, immediately I desire to have millions of tongues, because it's so sweet. So that kirtan was like that. Hundreds of devotees, young, we were all, just 20 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old, dressed with our, saffron dhotis, and we didn't have kurtas then, so we just wore shirts with collars, and our tilak and shaved head, and waiting for Srila Prabhupada to come. And the plane landed at the terminal, and they had to walk down the steps, and then they had to walk up the stairs, and all the people on the airplane, they were walking up prior to Srila Prabhupada. They were like walking into their arrivals lounge, and they were seeing 350 Hare Krishnas in there. They were, oh my God, what's happening here? And finally, one man, he stepped up to the top, very, jolly American fellow, middle-aged, and he went. And the next we saw a cane come to the top of the stairs. And then we saw the rustle of some, beautiful saffron cloth. And then we saw golden shaved head of Krishna's pure devotee, and then Prabhupada stepped up. And he had such a smile on his face. It was like he was smiling from here to here, seeing all of the new, young American practitioners of Krishna consciousness. And when he stepped up, everybody in the hall, it was sort of like this bhakti wave, like a tsunami of bhakti just swept over us, and we just, all offered obeisances. We got up and we were dancing, and we were crying. And Srila Prabhupada, he just very nonchalantly started going to different disciples that he knew. How are you? Are you well? How's your health? How's your sadhana? And then the devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, we'd like you to give a class. Prabhupada said, yes, why not? So they brought a Vyasa-san to the airport. this is the way it was back then. They brought a Vyasa-san that was about 4 times bigger than this Vyasa-san. If Prabhupada had wished, he could have laid down and taken rest. And he sat down and he spoke. And that was the first time I ever heard my spiritual master lecture. And much to my amazement, much to my frustration, I could not understand a word he was saying. And he spoke with a very rich accent. It was very, very Bengali and very British mixture. I couldn't understand a word. And I was like, all of a sudden I started going, oh my God, I've surrendered my life to this man. I can't understand what he's saying. And he kept talking, and I was just sitting there, I can't understand anything. And then at a certain point, Prabhupada paused and he said, please believe me when I tell you that you are not the body. And then he paused. And he said, please believe me when I tell you that you are not the body. Then he paused again. And he said, please believe me when I tell you that you are not the body. I have had personal realization of this. Thank you very much. Then we all offered obeisances, and he got inside of a Cadillac, rode to the temple, rode to his apartment. Then he came back in the evening for a program at the temple. And, you know, the whole temple was packed. And they had a big altar. No, I mean, they had an altar like this, but they had big Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, big deities. And I can recall that the pujar, kirtan was going. Very enthusiastic kirtan. All those young people were dancing like anything. And then the pujari, you know, had made an offering to Jagannath, and so the pujari took the offering off and wanted to show Prabhupada what was on the deity's plate. And so he took the plate over to Srila Prabhupada, and he looked at it. He reached over, and he took a piece of prasadam from the deity, straight from the deity's plate. He popped it in his mouth, and I went, oh my God. And then while the kirtan was going on, everybody was dancing, dancing, dancing. The temple president, his name was Bhagwan Das. And Bhagwan had a son whose name was Vaishnav, and Vaishnav was about 2 years old at the time. And Vaishnav was sitting on Bhagwan's shoulders, dancing in kirtan. And then Vaishnav, he took a set of cartels, and he was like playing in perfect time to the kirtan. And Prabhupada just started watching this young boy playing the cartels perfectly, and Prabhupada stopped the kirtan. And he said, where has this child learned to play cartels so perfectly? He said he has played in his previous life. He said this is a sign that the soul is eternal, and that the soul is transmigrating from one form to the next. Which is, it's like the basis that we hear in our philosophy of Krishna consciousness. The Lord, he begins explaining Krishna consciousness from telling Arjuna, you have to understand what you are not, and you must understand what you are. What you are not is the body, either the gross external body, which is composed of the gross material elements, nor are you the subtle mind, or subtle body, which is the mind, the intelligence, and the false ego. And you have to understand that you are the spirit soul. So that's the basis. And so when I think of, young devotees like Sachi, and I think of young devotees like Vrindavan, and they have so much talent, I think, where did they learn these things? And they must have been doing it in a previous janma, and engaging in Krishna's devotional service and for one reason or another, you've come here again to practice that, perhaps to make it better. And then in this life, utilize this life for perfecting the process, returning back to Godhead. Prabhupada gave us that instruction. He said that the human form of life is such a valuable boon because with this human form of life, we can actually get our most essential business done. And our most essential business is not economics. Our most essential business is not reproduction. Our most essential business is not this maintenance of one way or another of this temporary situation. But our most essential business is to overcome the repetition of birth and death in this material world. So that's what we can hope to achieve. We can hope to achieve that by engaging in the process of Bhakti Yoga in Krishna consciousness under the direction of our spiritual masters and the instructions of the Guru Dhamma. And that's just one aspect. Becoming free from the repetition of birth and death. But it's just like, here you have so many huge, magnificent trees everywhere. And they were not always like that. Here one time, they were just a seed, like a tiny seed. But the potentiality of that tiny seed is that it became these huge trees, right? So the potentiality of engaging the mind and the senses in Sri Krishna's devotional service is the awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness, the awakening of our love for Krishna, coming to the transcendental platform, which is called Bhava, and then from that stage progressing to the level of Krishna Prema. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught that, of course, Vaishnavacharyas have said, in the process of devotional service, there's 64 activities that we can engage in. It will awaken this dormant love for Krishna. Lord Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that there are 9 activities beginning with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given particular emphasis on 5 activities of devotional service. And he has said, Sadhusanga, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Srimurti Shradhaya Seva, Madhuravas. Meaning, Sadhusanga, associating with pure devotees. Nam Kirtan, purely chanting the holy name in the association of Vaishnavas. Bhagavat Shravan, always hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Yesterday, Srila Narendra Swami gave the most amazing Bhagavatam class. And he was explaining that there's only one topic in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And that one topic in the Bhagavatam are the glories of Sri Krishna and Sri Krishna's devotional service. In the beginning, in the middle, and the end of Bhagavatam, there's only one thing, and that's Sri Krishna. And by always hearing Bhagavatam in devotee association, then that spontaneous love that attracts Sri Krishna, that actually becomes awakened. So Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan Madhuravas, living in a holy place. And Srila Prabhupada said, wherever the deity of Krishna is worshipped, it is a holy place. So here, even in Helsinki, you have a holy place here. Of course, we have Mathura, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri. You can go to those places. But awakening love for Krishna is not based on like material proximity. But awakening love for Krishna is based on the process of hearing Krishna's glories and chanting Krishna's glories. You know, there's that story in the Srimad Bhagavatam that in the autumn season it was a beautiful full moon night, and Sri Krishna, he wanted to dance with the girls of Vrindavan. So he played his flute, which is all attractive. And the girls of Vrindavan, they heard his flute, and immediately they just abandoned everything. And they went running to Sri Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada describes in the Krishna book, they had so much spontaneous attraction for Krishna that they didn't care for like duties of this world. They just left their families, they left their children, they left their husbands, they left everything, and they ran to Krishna. And then when they reached Krishna, he said, welcome. Why have you come here? And then he started explaining different principles to them. And they said, but we came here to associate with you. And he said, oh, but my dear ladies, you should know that just proximity to me, being near me, that's not the real thing that will help you to become attracted to me. He said, the real attraction is based on hearing my glories and chanting my glories. He said, not alone. But because they were very clever, they were put out Bharati Krishna, they stayed with them. So Mathura Vas and then Srimurti Shradaya Seva, you have Gornitai and Vishnudev, and I think some Shilas up there as well. Worshipping the deities with the faith that they're none different from Sri Krishna. That makes it a holy place. And of all of these, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given particular emphasis to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, always hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and chanting the holy names. So we'll do that. We'll chant Hare Krishna together. Is that all right?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us to Helsinki. And now we'll chant. Hare Krishna. But when I chant, I like to sit with everybody else. I won't sit up here, so I will sit down. Is that okay? Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki
Jai.
Shri Shri Radha Govinda Ji ki
Jai.
Lalita Vishaka Devi ki
Jai. Jai.
Lok Premdan Harinam Sankirtan Jagya ki
Jai.
Lok Premdan Harinam Sankirtan Jagya ki
Jai.
Lok Premdan Harinam Sankirtan Jagya ki
Jai.
Hare Nam
Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Namo Naste Namaste Namaste Bhakti Bhringa Hare Bhakti.
It says first the tongue must be engaged. So we engage the tongue by chanting Hare Krishna, and we engage the tongue by tasting prasadam. And gradually the effect will be sarva upadi nirmuktam tatparatam nirmalam. All of our material ideas will be dissolved. Dissolved by the power of bhakti. Meaning now we think that we're men, we think that we're women, we think that the goal of our lives is to fulfill our man desires, or we think the goal of our lives are to fulfill our woman desires, or to do it together. And that's what everybody likes to do, is to do it together. But trying to fulfill those like temporary self-serving desires attains us nothing but misery. Sri Krishna explains that in the Gita. It's hard to know. He says that foolish people, they think that happiness comes through sparsadam, by rubbing things together. But the wise know that that doesn't bring happiness, but that brings only dukkha, that brings misery. So, sarva upadi vinirmuktam. If we keep our tongue engaged in glorifying Krishna, if we keep our ear engaged in hearing Krishna, and gradually all of our gross and subtle material identifications will become dissolved by the power of pure bhakti. And when those external coverings do become dissolved, then we'll realize that we're the eternal spiritual soul that's part and parcel of Krishna, and we'll have no other objective than the happiness and the service of Krishna. So, when we come back for kirtan tonight, we're here for 2 more days. If you want to join us, please come over and we'll chant and chant and chant, and we'll speak some, and we'll chant and chant and chant and speak some, we'll chant and chant and chant and speak some. And if they provide prasadam, we'll take prasadam. And then we'll do it again. Okay, so now it's time for prasadam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prasadi Govinde.
Prasadi Govinde.
Namo Brahmani Vaishnavi.
Namo Brahmani Vaishnavi.
Swapam Punyavatan Rajan.
Swapam Punyavatan Rajan.
Vishwasona Vijayate.
Vishwasona Vijayate.
Where do you take prasadam?
Right here.
You take prasadam right here. Sharira Vidya.
Sharira Vidacha.
Chitindriya Tahika.
Chitindriya Tahika.
Shive File Vishaya Sagore.
Shive File Vishaya Sagore.
Dharmaji Jivayati.
Dharmaji Jivayati.
Lovamoy Sudurmate.
Lovamoy Sudurmate.
Nakikita Kutina Samsari.
Kakechita katina samsare.
Krishna Borodoya Moy.
Krishna Borodoya Moy.
Gauri Bhare Jiva Joy.
Gauri Bhare Jiva Joy.
He's so kind that he's given us prasadam to keep our tongues engaged. Swaprasadana Diloba.
Swaprasadana Diloba.
Sayanamrita Pal.
Sayanamrita Pal.
Radha Krishna Gunago.
Radha Krishna Gunago.
Vrindako Chitaninitai.
Vrindako Chitaninitai.
Mahaprasad Ki.
Jai!
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.